Hello, you are watching the MA Module 2 Administrative Side MA101B course video training. Course MA101B is the course that is for medical terminology, anatomy, and physiology. In this course, you'll be teaching the terminology chapters 1, which is Introduction to Healthcare Terminology, Chapter 4, Integumentary System, Chapter 6, Urinary System, Chapter 3, Musculoskeletal System. But in this system, you will only, in this chapter, you will only focus on the skeletal system. You will also be teaching chapters for this course out of your Medical Assisting Fundamentals e-text, and you'll be in Chapter 2, the Medical Terminology, Anatomy, and Physiology. This chapter, you will only be referencing pages 18 through 24. These chapters have to do with body positions, directional terminology, body cavities. This chapter is taught in every module to help students grasp this concept and become familiar with these terms. You'll be in Chapter 4, the Integumentary System, Chapter 3, the Skeletal System, and Chapter 6, the Urinary System. So this course is quite full of information for your students. Keep that in mind when you are presenting these materials. Here is an example of the course Canvas shell that you'll be working out of. It's set up the same as all the other anatomy and physiology and program shells. Students will have their academic honesty policy. They will have their e-text. They will have website links, all their student resources. They must make sure that they click on the medical terminology student resources link as well as the MA Fundamental student resources link in order to activate access farther into this Canvas course shell. If they do not, they will not be able to link, and they will get error codes or be asked to provide a code in order to get in. There are Quizlets available for students. If you'd like to use these in a class as a Quizlet Live, that's more than acceptable, or students can access them on their own. The SurePack program is required in this course. You will be setting this up prior to students entering into the course. And there's a section in the training course here that you're currently in to help you with that. Course syllabi has to be gone over with your students. They have to click on this and do it before they can move on into the course. There are 3 course row for this section of the program, as well as a section for the on-ground instructor to use some optional ICA. These ICA are, like I said, optional. You can choose to give them out as a graded assignment, or you can choose to have this as an activity and review the answers in class. It's up to you and how big your class is and what you feel your students need. After that, we find our weeks. These weeks are for hybrid students only. The weeks will differ depending on if the student is in the hybrid day or afternoon or evening. We'll switch through that. After that, we move on into our days. The days in the course are going to correspond with the lesson plan. So make sure that you are fully reading the lesson plan, that you are staying on track, following the lesson plan suggestions and information, and that you are also reading the chapters. It's a really good idea for you to thoroughly read the chapters, prepare for this module, go through, look at all the tests, go through, look at all the assignments, and just be knowledgeable of what questions your students might ask you so that you're prepared to answer their questions if they come up. The more prepared you are, the smoother your class is going to run, and the happier students are going to be. Okay, so day 1 is a busy day for you. Not only will you be following the information in the lesson plan, but you'll be also acquainting your students with one another. You'll be going over the first row together. I suggest that You also have students download the chapter at a glance. This is going to give your students word parts that are going to be important for them throughout the program. I suggest in the lesson plan, and I will during this video, that you have your students make their own personal Quizlet of these or flashcards, whatever they feel they can use to learn these terms best. The quicker students become familiar with their medical terminology and learn the terms that they need, the easier it's going to be throughout the whole program. The chapter activities and assignments are optional assignments as well as a lesson. These can be reviewed and worked through outside of class with an internet connection. Be mindful of your time, that you're not having your students spend all their time working on activities. It's going to be harder for them to disconnect from this and then move on to something else. Remember, there are multiple courses being taught in one day, so you're going to have to be really good with your classroom management. Sure path directions are also in here that are helpful for your students. Students will be participating together. So the hybrid and the residential on-ground students will be participating in discussions together. That is going to promote some good dialogue with your students and help them to understand their subjects better. While they're participating in the discussion board, the instructor will also be participating in the discussion board. Instructors should be in the discussion on a daily basis, promoting the discussion, asking students questions, helping them to ask each other questions and move through the topic. Not all the discussions are going to be required for the on-ground residential students. They will have a few depending on how they fall in the lesson plan and how the subject matter corresponds with the hybrid. Okay, so there are the days following. You'll find that there are suggested videos for the days. I suggest that you watch these first, see where you can weave them into your lecture. Students can also watch these over and over again throughout the module as they feel necessary. You will notice too, as you move through the lesson plan and through the module, that there will be some games embedded in here for students to play. Take advantage of those if you have time, and encourage students to use these outside of class. You probably have already noticed that each one of the days is not published. They are unpublished on purpose, so students cannot move ahead. So it will be up to you before the class starts to publish the day that you will be teaching, and then make sure that any ancillary games or videos are also published that you would like the students to access. Please do not unpublish any of the assignments, as these assignments are also used in the hybrid weeks section of the course. And if you unpublish it here, it will also unpublish in the weeks section. Hybrid students are not going to be happy when they cannot access the work that they need to complete. Keep in mind that just because the on-ground residential students are working on assignment 5.1 on day 4, that doesn't mean that the hybrid students will be working on this assignment at the exact same time. They may have to complete this earlier. This course will include 4 tests. The tests are going to be on the integumentary system. They will be on the urinary system, the skeletal system, as well as a test on medical terminology, which includes all of the terms associated with those systems. If you like, you can add some extra activities and interactive, engaging games for your students to participate in together. If you feel that you need to put those in, just be mindful of the time. And I encourage that you do that. It will get your students to know each other better. And when students work together, they tend to remember topics and concepts better than they would if they were just to listen to one of your lectures. Okay. With that, I hope that you found this video helpful, And if you have any other questions or you need help, please reach out to your campus supervision or myself, and we'll be happy to help you and make sure you have what you need to teach your course.